Coming up on Mountain News this morning, multiple people are missing after a fireworks explosion at a California warehouse. And we sat down with a Floyd County attorney who's preparing to announce his candidacy for Congress.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning and a happy Thursday to you, Mountain family. I'm Amelia Lee here with you on this July 3rd. It is 4:59 this morning and a time to check on in with meteorologist Eric Dean today. Eric, that fog was back. I saw it in full force throughout Hazard this morning.
Oh yeah, it's back and with vengeance. We have temperatures and dew points very close to each other, so allow yourself extra time if you're traveling this morning. Yesterday was not bad. Made it to 83 degrees after a morning start of 67. 85 and 66 is where we should be for this time of year. No rain yesterday. We're sitting well above normal for the month, and well, we've been talking about this since pretty much January 1st, well above normal for the entire year. Right now, we're seeing temperatures in the low to mid 60s, upper 60s near Pikeville, 63 in Somerset, 67 in Monticello, Middlesboro. Good morning to you. You're at 63 degrees. Visibility, again, very, very low. Williamsburg's at 0, otherwise reduced from Monticello to Prestonsburg. There's live pinpoint Doppler radar. All is quiet throughout the area. High pressure is in control. We had a stationary boundary that's situated to the east of us, but today we'll make a run for the mid 80s with mostly sunny skies. Sunglasses will be needed. 4th of July is tomorrow. We'll have that breakdown coming up in the first alert forecast in a few minutes, but right now the current time is 5 o'clock on the dot. We'll toss it back to Amelia.
More testimony took place yesterday morning in Bowling Green in the Crystal Rogers case. Rogers went missing nearly 10 years ago. Brooks Houck's sister took the stand testifying in her brother's defense while defending herself against accusations that she participated in the reported conspiracy to kill Rogers. Rhonda McIlvoy's testimony went for more than 1 hour. Houck was at the defense table, visibly wiping away tears as his sister testified. Sentencing is scheduled for next month for Brian Kohberger. Yesterday, he accepted a plea deal, admitting to the murders of 4 University of Idaho students in 2022. Kohberger pleaded guilty to all the charges he was facing. This takes the death penalty off the table, but he will face life sentences for each of the 4 murder counts without the possibility of parole. Video you see on your screen now shows the extent of the damage after an explosion at a fireworks warehouse in Northern California. This morning, 7 people are still missing. It started as a fire before the fireworks exploded, sending projectiles into the air. A 1-mile evacuation zone was set up, but it's not known what caused this fire. Kentucky's Department of Education needs to make some major improvements, from funding mechanisms to reading instruction. Those are the claims in a 500-page special examination by the state auditor's office. WYMT's Phil Pendleton spoke to the auditor about the report.
The audit looked at data over 4 years and examined a lot more than just how money is spent in schools.
I would say this is a blueprint to get Kentucky on the right path. Its
500 pages highlight numerous areas for improvement. It criticized KDE for letting $250 million in classroom money to lapse. It states money for DEI was wasted because it did not result in proficient students. It said the method used to rate preschools was misleading and that a database was needed to report Title IX violations in school sports.
But if you've got a girl who's playing sports, you want to know that they're being given access that they're supposed to get.
I have the utmost faith and respect for the folks in the Department of Education and for our teachers that go to work and do the job every day. And I think it's incumbent upon us to continue to support them.
We reached out to the Kentucky Education Commissioner for comment, but we were simply pointing to a statement that had come out previously, which said that the report highlights the good work of the agency, that they welcome working with the General Assembly also in going over these recommendations. Paul says the audit also showed that a reading program banned in multiple states was still allowed in Kentucky.
And it actually hinders reading.
Information from the audit will likely make its way before lawmakers as the new session starts in January. In Frankfort, Phil Pendleton, WYMT Mountain News.
The audit came about because of a state law passed that required the inquiry into the Department of Education. Well, the Trump administration is withholding billions of dollars for school funding, and Kentucky schools are taking a big hit. The administration is holding back more than $6 billion in grants for after-school and summer programs, English language instruction, adult literacy, and even more. It comes as government efficiency officials conduct a review to ensure grants are aligned with the president's priorities. Schools in the Commonwealth receive about $87 million of that funding, and were prepared to receive those funds before the one-day notice that they would not be distributed on time. A Floyd County attorney is preparing to announce his candidacy for Congress, hoping to run against U.S. Representative Hal Rogers next year. Prestonsburg attorney Ned Pillarsdorf says he's worked for the underdog for 44 years, trying to advocate and be a voice for folks in need. As the big beautiful bill moves through Congress, he says it's time to offer a chance for the people in Kentucky's 5th congressional district. Pillarsdorf says Congressman Rogers, who's been elected for 23 consecutive terms since 1981, is not representing the best interests of the people that he was elected to serve, saying he voted in favor of a bill that would eliminate countless needed resources and jobs in the district.
There's no doubt earlier in his career, Hal Rogers was what we call a moderate Republican. He did some good things, took us 1 or 2 steps forward. This vote takes us 20 steps backward and over the cliff. It is a total betrayal.
Pillarsdorf plans to announce his candidacy officially at 5 o'clock on Friday evening, with a planned protest at Rosenberg Square in Prestonsburg. Health officials in West Virginia may say some may have been exposed to measles after an international traveler landed at an airport last month. They say the person touched down on June 19th at the Washington Dulles International Airport in Virginia. The director of epidemiology at Cable Huntington Health Department says it's important to be aware of exposures, especially if you're traveling.
Higher risk is when you're traveling, but it does not hurt at all to make sure to check your vaccination status. Vaccination is 97% effective, so I mean you've got a very, very good coverage.
Well, if you do have plans to travel internationally and are not up to date on your measles vaccines, you need to give yourself time to plan accordingly. Officials say 2 doses are recommended for most people, and they need to be about 28 days apart. Well, the upcoming season for one West Virginia high school football team is canceled. Van High School in Boone County will not participate in football this fall due to not having enough players on the team. The head coach says the team's roster only had 13 players on it, which he says brings safety into question.
Football being a contact sport, kids get hurt, unfortunately. But with this roster we had, a lot of these 13 were very new kids, 9th graders, or kids that's not played a lot of sports at all. And I just didn't feel like it was worth risking their safety to try to make it happen.
Well, he says he's hopeful that numbers will be back up by next year and that football Friday nights will be back in the area. Well, thanks so much for getting your day started with us on Mountain News this morning at 5:07.